I'm so glad you've chosen to work with me for this program. The first thing that I'm going to jump into talking about is fears and negative beliefs. And you might ask, why are you spending time talking about that? And it's because I promise it'll come up. And if we can address it now and know what to look for, hopefully it won't impede you too much in your career transition. One thing that can be challenging is overcoming any societal pressures that you're feeling about choosing a certain career path. It might be societal pressures, or it might even be pressures from family. So think about, what pressures might I feel based on how I grew up and the experiences that I've had, and how can I notice when I'm feeling those pressures? You might notice some thoughts pop up, almost like involuntary muscles. And I call those thoughts limiting beliefs or automatic negative thoughts. Those thoughts are important to identify because those thoughts are the thoughts that'll keep popping up throughout this process. And you want to make sure to notice them, name them, try not to judge them, but know that they're coming from a place of low self-confidence, that they're not necessarily true. So some of those automatic negative thoughts can be, I'm too old to be doing this. I don't have enough experience, or I don't have the right credentials, or I'm not going to be good enough at this. So identify those thoughts and fears, notice what they are, but don't let them stop you just yet. Another worry that people have is that they might be pigeonholing themselves by learning more information or going down a career path that's more specific. And you're not necessarily doing that. You're never truly stuck if you believe that. But some career paths are a little bit more specific, like optical engineering. And I do have processes to reflect on those career paths before pursuing them. But just know you're never stuck in one career path. I understand wanting to make sure you do enough research before investing in grad school or something like that. But you're never truly stuck in a career path. So watch that mindset too. Another thing that can make the process challenging is perfectionism. And some of the things that I see is that people have this perfect idea of what they want their career to look like. And because of this idea, this internal image or subconscious image that somebody has, they feel very boxed in that they need to get to that certain image, or maybe it's an image that they have about themselves and they need their career to reflect that certain image. So image X, if you will, if they have that image, it's important to break down, what's that image that I have, and how might having that perfect image impact my experience in a career transition. Another way that perfectionism can impact the career transition process is that people feel like they need to complete their career transition or do these modules perfectly, that they need to do ample amounts of research and spend hours and hours on it, or it's not worthwhile. And that's just not the case. Do the best that you can throughout your career transition and put in the best effort that you can, but there's not a perfect way to do this. And so just notice those thoughts if they come up, and don't allow those thoughts to prevent you from engaging in the modules or engaging in the homework, because it's better to have tried and done a little bit of the homework than not done it at all. Another thing to consider is your triggers when it comes to the work environment. That can come up in the career transition. So one thing, I'm going to use this example. One thing that might come up is perhaps you had a difficult boss, or, maybe even a toxic boss, and you heard constantly that you weren't doing enough, you needed to do more, that your quality of work wasn't good enough. And because of that, in the career transition process, you might feel like, I'm not doing enough. My quality of work within this career transition process isn't good enough. So think about, what are my work triggers, particularly around confidence, and how might those triggers around confidence come up in this career transition process? And when I say triggers, I mean the things that are said or the things that I bring up in the course that might result in you feeling anxious or more overwhelmed or stressed. Finding the right career or job can take some trial and error. So don't be too hard on yourself for the jobs that you've had in the past that didn't feel like the best fit. Those jobs helped play an important role in figuring out what job is a good fit, because now you know what's not a good fit. And knowing what's not a good fit is almost important as knowing what is a good fit.